Yes, it's very strange to stream to YouTube. Yes. In case anyone was wondering. Yes. It's very strange. It's a foreign concept. Just like chicken. Just like Wasan Chinsuk. Hey man, how are you? Mike, thanks for being here, man. I know I didn't specifically tell the mods what I was doing because it's kind of an impromptu thing, but I ended up getting like an hour or an hour and a half or so of extra free time, and well, I just got a lot of comments and stuff, and I thought, you know, I think it's about time I just responded to some of them, hung out and chat with YouTube people for a while. Who knows? Who knows? Still have to go get my Zip Fizz though. Guess I'm gonna have to do that now. Hey Master. Can I call you Master? Weird seeing you live on YouTube. Yeah, man, welcome in. Melania, good to see you as well. Hey Adam. All you're saying is Twitch is the superior platform. You gotta be careful with that talk here, okay? Don't want to alienate people who are anti-Team Purple, and that's fine. Some people are Team Red. I get it. We can talk about them later tonight on Twitch. For Greaser? Is that how you say it? I gotta make sure I'm saying it right though. That's the thing. Like I can pronounce Master, but Greaser, Graze. I don't know. I'm probably butchering it. I'm sorry. We're all inclusive here. That's right, Niall. That's right. That's right. I don't know what the delay is like here. I haven't streamed on YouTube in over a year. So I have no idea what the delay is here. Let's play a game to find out. I'm going to say a word, and you leave that word in chat as soon as you hear it. Okay? The word is coffee. Coffee. Okay, so it's like, you got it's about 4 seconds or so. That's not too bad. It's not quite as good as Twitch, but I also am not using the ultra low latency mode on YouTube, so that's actually not bad, you know? 4 seconds, I can deal with that. I can deal with that. Cool. All right, let me get a drink real quick and I'll be right back. cool beats, huh? Got some cool music today by Churn Beats. Once again, gotta like shout out to Matt Churn because his music is awesome. The fact that he lets me use it as a royalty-free thing is awesome. The Zit Fizz is good. Hello, Coral Goods. Hello, Benjamin. 3 a.m. My God, welcome in. Stout Guzzler, what's your drink of choice lately? What kind of stouts are you into? Hey, Satyaki, how are you? What's up, Gosh? Rye Bread, welcome. Coral Goods, you ready for some Deep Rock Galactic tomorrow night? 6 o'clock, buddy. I've never played it before, so I'm gonna be like really newbie. I'm gonna have to like try to figure out how it all works. So yeah, maybe I'll get some time. I don't know. Time has been my biggest enemy, right? And that's another thing. Like I just want to talk about that today. Like time has been. I think I still have the Mass Effect. I still have the Mass Effect stuff here, actually. Yeah, I still have the Mass Effect background. So today, we're gonna have this Mass Effect background today, because I didn't change it. So it's just the way it is, I guess. Hi everyone, I'm just gonna be big-headed. I am the overseer, elusive man in the world. Okay, hi everybody. Welcome to my impromptu, completely unplanned, ahead of time broadcast on YouTube. God, that feels weird. Normally, I have this whole spiel I do about welcome to my Twitch channel and stuff, but like honestly, that doesn't work right now. So I guess I can't do that. I want to do a combination of things today. The first thing I want to do is establish why this stream is happening right now. The second thing I want to do is I have a bullet point list. It's not very good, so I'll probably rant and go all over the place in my head, but hopefully we can steer at least to a point where the train tracks eventually get to the destination, regardless of how optimal the path is. The third thing I want to do is I want to integrate your comments and your questions, either in YouTube videos already, and I've saved a few of those, or so the normal, maybe that, or questions that you have directly in the chat here. Okay, so that's the reason why this stream exists. I want to also have the opportunity, if I can, to say hi to you guys directly and sort of get, I don't want to say get familiar, because like I feel like I've done a lot of that. Like I recognize almost everyone in the chat right now, so I feel like we're already at least at first base. Maybe not. Maybe some of you are not at first base with me yet, but it's okay. It's okay. You will be soon. Don't worry. Everyone always comes around eventually. Yeah, speaking of which, part of the whole vastness of first base is the family, of course. So I don't always start Twitch streams with this, but what's up, kiddo? Come on. Come say hi. Come here. Say hi to everybody. What?
It's my show and tell from.
What?
It's my show and tell.
It's your show and tell.
Yeah.
What are you What are you showing? What are you telling?
It's a bracelet.
It's a bracelet. What does it say?
Oh no.
You don't know what it says? Can I read it?
Yeah.
Right. It says, "Your child's home away from home." Did you get this at the daycare?
Yeah.
Yeah. One of the daycare teachers give it to you?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's nice, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, Clint. Welcome in, dude. It's Mini Charlie, yeah. He's got Daniel Tiger, I guess? Is this Daniel Tiger?
Yeah.
Yeah, you like him?
Yeah.
Does he play baseball?
Yeah.
Yeah, do you like baseball?
But look, there's a bug.
There's a bug. Yeah, there's a bug in here. That's right. It's flying. There's a lot of bugs in here. There's spiders down here sometimes too. Hmm?
Yeah, but I saw a spider moving.
You did?
Yeah.
You already saw a spider today?
Yeah.
Where did you see it?
Over there.
Gotta have to be careful then. You know what that spider eats?
What?
Eats that bug that you just saw. Spider wants to go eat the bug. Yeah? So which one would you rather have? Would you rather have the spider or the bug?
The spider.
You'd rather have the spider, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
The spider eats.
Yeah. Because the
meat.
spider eats the meat. All right. Hey, want to go up and join Mama?
Yeah.
Daddy's got to do the rest of his thing, okay? Okay, say bye-bye to people.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Hey, what's that?
That's another image, another view, so we can see what it looks like for them. See? You're in two places at once. Off you go. There you go. Going upstairs, okay? Can you go on? Can you go on upstairs? Don't play near the camera and the lights and tripods and stuff, please. Go on. Go on. Bye. I don't think he's gonna go upstairs very fast. Okay. Well, hi guys. Yeah. He grows up so much time every time you see him. Yeah, me too. Me too. Me too. All right, let me scroll up here really quick because I gotta see some questions. So I want to get to questions in the chat first, and then when I don't have questions in chat to talk about, then I can get into my topic and stuff too. But you guys feel free to chime in with questions you have related to the topic today too. The topic today, the title of the stream is to upload or not to upload, and mostly that's sort of like a themed loaded question because I wanted to talk about how content creators decide what to put on the internet and what not to put on the internet. You'd be surprised how many times I've made a video on something and then you've never seen it. Happens all the time because I just decide that this isn't gonna work and I don't bother with it. There's instances where we've streamed something and I said, yeah, we'll put that to YouTube. And then I just haven't because again, I don't think it's gonna work. And when I say not going to work, sometimes that gets twisted and misconstrued a little bit. So I want to give you guys a sort of an insight into how I think. It might relate or not relate to how other creators do things, but I wanted to kind of give you guys an insight into how I think. And I wanted to incorporate some of your feedback and your questions into that discussion. So I was thinking about, let's just make a video on this and just post a video, but I don't have the time to edit it. I just don't have it right now. That's why my stream schedule is switching. You saw my kid. I gotta watch him every day. COVID is a thing, and we're just like the daycare is open right now, but we are not confident in sending him back there. Right? Michigan's one of the better states handling it right now, but it's still not done. There are still idiots out there. So it's not dampened as much as it could be. So we're not confident in sending him back. And we've made sort of an executive decision between the two of us to keep him until public school. So we're not sending him back to daycare all next month. That combined with the fact that we're about to close on a house in like, I think next week. Whoa, that's quick. Yeah, I think next week. And, there's moving and stuff that's going to happen there too. So my time is ridiculously restricted right now. And that is why, going along your questions, when is the next prison architect? It's like the #1 question on the channel. Believe it or not, I know, right? Believe it or not, it is the #1 question right now. The answer is whenever I get around to it. You guys are completely caught up to me. I don't have any other videos recorded that I could possibly share with you right now because I haven't recorded any of them yet. So it's whenever I can get to it. My schedule is super restricted. Now that said, some of you guys might look at the live stream schedule on Twitch and go, but you're streaming 6 days a week. You clearly have time. True. I do. But that time is delegated to, well, it's delegated to Twitch because my priority as a creator for the last 2 years has been that network, not this one. I love both of them. I love both YouTube and Twitch. But if I have to prioritize the one that I think is most important for me to prioritize my immediate time on, it's the one that demands that I be live in order to grow. As opposed to YouTube, which can be viewed as a search engine. People can find it when I am not live. So I tend to prioritize the network in which I have to be live in order to grow. That's why I prioritize that one. That being said, though, it is entirely reasonable that I will change my mind, as I do constantly, sometimes multiple times a day on the same subject, to get like, you know, hey, let's just do Wednesdays off. Let's just not stream Wednesdays and we'll do Prison Architect that day. Okay, well, that might be possible. Friday is supposed to be KSP days, right? But KSP is its own animal right now. Talk about that a little bit. I don't want to give spoilers for the YouTube peeps because you guys are behind the streams. But to the greatest extent, I'm trying to be careful here. To the greatest extent possible, I'll tell you what's happening with that without spoiling things as best I can. But for Prison Architect, that's whenever I can get to a thing. Sorry. I mean, to see if there are any other questions I missed here. Benjamin, it's crazy that you're here at 3 a.m. That's nuts. Thank you for the support. You don't have to do that for support, man. You can go to bed. Don't stay up till 3 a.m. for me, dude. Unless you're already awake, in which case I'll try to keep you company. Charlie's the elusive man. Yeah, today I am. I just don't have an extra. I didn't prepare another background. So today you guys get the elusive man video background. All right, so let me see if I get everything else. Wasan, you're awesome. Thanks for being here. He grows up so much every time I see him. We didn't get called kid or people this time. We've been downgraded. It's because you're on YouTube. Just kidding. Oh, just kidding. When are you uploading the next KSP? Been following it. Hey, Stout. So, KSP is edited by my brother. You may have heard him referred to as the bro. That's my brother. He lives with me temporarily, and it looks like he's going to be living with me for another year, so that's cool. He'll be paying rent now, though, so less expectations on the editing and more on the rent side of things now. But he helps me with videos regarding KSP because KSP takes a ridiculous amount of time to edit. With my schedule, I can't make any other content if I'm the only one making KSP content. So to allow me to make other things and to explore other avenues and other content ideas, new games that are coming out, new releases, whatever, to allow me to do that, I offload my footage to him and he takes care of the streams on that. So KSP releases as fast as he can edit them. I sometimes poke him and I maybe nudge him. Sometimes I use my knees and I, right in his thigh. Every now and then a kick in the butt. A fire under his, you get it. Every now and then I put a little pressure on him to hurry up and maybe get a little faster. But at the end of the day, he's got to work to maintain his own income. He's got his own stuff to do, etc. And I can't pressure someone who, it's different if I'm paying them, okay? If I'm paying you to do something, I'm usually a lot less lenient to work for because, I'm paying for services. I need them in a timely manner. I'm just the way it is. I expect that from me when I'm being paid for something, and I expect it to other people. But most of the help I get in this channel area, in my channels, whether it's community management, whether it's him helping me with videos, whether it's other types of avenues of getting advice and etc. Like all that kind of stuff is unpaid stuff. This is voluntary stuff. I cannot be a stickler. I cannot be a jerk about it. I can't be like one of those nudgers kicking the butters about things that I'm, not paying them for. Now, my brother is living here rent-free, utility-free, internet bill-free, etc. So there's a little bit of financial incentive here. That's the arrangement. But at the end of the day, I'm not handing him dollar bills that he can use to buy food. So I'm saving him money, So I'm nudging him a little bit. It's ready whenever he's able to get it ready. Yeah, so 1075% surviving Mars run, yes or no. We tried it several times. It gets annoying to the point where it's unfun. That's why I stopped it before. But we did try it before, Be That Guy. Yeah. Syntax, welcome in. Good to see you. How is the AirPods you need to get? I already have AirPods. I could be wearing them right now, but I choose not to because they're battery operated. I don't know. They're not connected right now, so it's whatever. Why are some of your past streams on Twitch sub only? Good question, Killer Dog. Okay, so this is a little bit also, this pertains. I'm glad you asked that question. I'm going to answer it, and I'm going to answer it in probably the longest possible answer you can get. But to be incredibly thorough, so bear with me. Okay, so what I wanted to talk about today is the whole to upload or not to upload. This is this question that's always in our heads. And when we're looking at how content creators push out content, and this entire stream is trying to let you into my head. All right, I want you to feel free to ask me anything that's related to whatever, all right? Within reason, okay? And I wanna let you into my head, let you into my life a little bit. And so going along that note, I assure you I will get that answer, and you're gonna see exactly what I mean. But it needs a little bit of context. There's an internal conflict that happens with a content creator when conditions are not perfect. What I mean by perfect is there's 4 possible outcomes to a video series. And I'm a serial player. What that means is I have episode 1, 2, 3 in a series, a serial playlist. I create playlists, multiple. My projects tend to have multiple parts, right? I think pretty much everyone knows that. So 4 possible outcomes for this. Either I don't like it, and you don't like it, in which case it just goes bye-bye. That's easy. Out. I like it, and you like it, in which case I bust ass and do it as fast as possible and get as much of it out as I can to milk that for all it's worth. Just being blunt. Hey, these guys really like this, and so do I, so let's have some fun, right? It makes sense. Those 2 instances, there's no conflict there, okay? That's it. But the 2 that are conflict, and the 2 that drive creators crazy, and every creator goes through this, every single one. If anyone denies it, they're either lying or they're incredibly small and they haven't yet experienced it, but they will. When I like something, but you don't. And when I don't like something, but you do. All right? Those 2 instances are incredibly hard to go through. The second one is harder than the first, but I want to talk about the process between those 2. Because it's important to distinguish when uploads happen and when they don't, and why. But the worst thing that can happen, and one thing that I try to avoid, because I've done it in the past, and it sucks when I do it in the past, the thing I try to avoid is when I start something, people get into it, they start to like it, and then it just abruptly ends. There's no end to it. It just there's never a video left, right? Conquering KSP had reasons for both of its time where it stopped, but the last time it stopped, there was just like, oh, where's 104? I don't see it. And that's what I want to talk about. That kind of stuff, right? Which again, will tie into the Twitch thing in a second. You'll see. So the like situation where we both like it, that's like the Goldilocks. That's the Goldilocks zone. I love that. But I can't always tell when that's going to be until I try it. And I'm a seasoned YouTuber, right? There's not like, I got a comment today telling me like community management's hard and takes time. I'm aware. I've been doing YouTube for almost a decade. I've been doing the gaming video stuff for over 4 years. I'm aware. I know, it takes time. But there's patterns that will emerge. You can see patterns. And on your end, all you guys see is the total view count. That's it. That's all you see, right? You see total views. I see a whole lot more than that. Like, the analytics that I have is extensive. I can see patterns and I recognize things like super cool. like super cool, super quickly. And I can tell when something is either going to be a detriment to my channel, or it's going to be a positive thing, or if it will have mostly no effect in terms of its overall growth and impact or whatever. And there's some variation to that, and I'll touch on that in a second. But mostly I can tell if something is going to work or it's not within the first 3 uploads, usually. Things like watch time. How long do people watch the video when they click it? That tells me how interesting that content is overall. If I see people falling off of it really quickly, or they're watching it at like 3 times speed, then, and that's the primary, if watch time is low, I can tell it's not as engaging. I either need to make adjustments to that content to make it more engaging, or I just need to suck it up and deal with it. But if it's an ongoing pattern, or it's a pattern that happens very quickly, then it's kind of like, I can tell that maybe this isn't the right fit for the channel. Now, I wanna make one quick statement, and this is in response to a comment I got on the community tab for the channel. I'm trying to find it now. There's a comment that was made on the community tab, and I'm glad he did it. He said he thought he might be seen as an asshole, but that's not the case. But I'm glad he made the comment the way he did, because it's blunt, it's honest, and that's what I want. Always want blunt and honesty. I want that. I know people think I don't, but I do. But there's a bit of misunderstanding with it, right? So I wanted to get that out. So I made this post on the community tab, and it was talking about Mass Effect today. And it says, this is unfortunate. It's one of my favorite stories ever. It's somewhat an expert on it, but you know, I've got 30,000 subscribers now, which is still like, what? In my head. But the Mass Effect videos, when I post them, it gets about 30 views in the first hour. I wanted to touch on that because the tone I had in this post, to this person anyway, made it seem like I was sort of like blaming viewers. Why aren't you watching my shit? You should be watching it. That's not the case. That's not what I meant. I meant as a way of explaining, if I'm going to end this abruptly, because there are some of you, very few, but some of you who are like starting to get into it 3 videos in, why am I pulling them? Why would I end it? Why not upload it anyway? I wanted to explain why that was. There's a few different metrics that go into that. Watch time, way down compared to usual. YouTube shows me all this stuff, right? It is performing at, well, there's no blunt way to say it. You could have 4 times the watch time on it, and it would be average. That's how bad it's performing, right? Viewership-wise, you could do a 10x on viewership, and it would be average, right? It's performing abysmally. And so it wasn't me pushing it out there and blaming people for not watching it. It was more of an explanation as to why would I pull it off? Why would I stop posting it? Here's the reason. We go back to the I like it but you don't, or I don't like it and you do, right? We go back to that arrangement. If I post videos to this channel, I'm posting them because I want to share them with people. But if there isn't enough interest in them, then what happens is people don't click them. People don't watch them. Duh. But what you may not know, what you may not see, is that if enough of that happens consecutively, and it's quick too, it's like over the course of a single week even. If enough of that happens consecutively, then what happens is you stop seeing me at all. You stop seeing videos from me at all. Not just that one series, but you stop seeing them for the ones you potentially like. Because YouTube decides, I don't, YouTube decides this creator is clearly not as engaging as he used to be. We shouldn't show him as often. Now, there's an argument to be made. Well, I mean, if you're enjoying it, if you like it, why not just post it anyway? I mean, you already have the videos up there. You got 11 videos already uploaded. Why not just publish them? If I publish them and it has viewership like that, watch time like that, etc., if enough of you are shown that video, and right now the latest episode for that it has a 0.6% engagement. Okay. 0.6%. That means that when YouTube displays and shows the video in a recommended feed or in a sub box, your recommended, your home pages, whatever, when it shows it, 0.6% of people click on it. Okay? Now, to put that in perspective, my channel average is 7%. So, needless to say, that's, well, like I said before, you could 10x. 10 times what it is now would be average, okay? So there's that. Hey, Jezzy, pretty much just got here. Is he pulling Mass Effect? If so, will his Twitch be unlocked for all viewers remain locked? Is he going to stop on Twitch too? Okay, I'm clearing that up right now. And it's a long answer. Let me give you the TLDR in case you're just coming in and popping out. And I'm explaining why it's the way it is right now, which is a longer answer. But the short answer is any Twitch stream that I do that is destined for YouTube, that means it's going to YouTube in almost its entirety. Maybe it's going to be edited a little bit, but the bulk of the content of the streams are destined for YouTube. In those instances, the Twitch streams are locked to subscribers on Twitch. Any other broadcast, any other stream is available for the public always. Now, if I pull something off of YouTube, that means the content is not destined for YouTube anymore. VODs get unlocked. Yes. I never want to pay gate access to my content. I don't want to ever have an instance where you can't see content unless you pay for it. That's not my intention. So if it's available on YouTube for free later, it's locked to subs. And there's a reason for that, and I'm getting to that. If it's not going to YouTube, if it's only on Twitch, it will be free forever there. It's in a collection even. It's going into its own collection even. The reason why it's blocked on YouTube, the reason why it's locked to subs on Twitch is because if I unlock it, and this is not like a theory, this is practiced, tested over years now. I've confirmed this to myself now because I always suspected it, but I tested it out and I confirmed it. It's absolutely true now. If I unlock those VODs on Twitch, and they're going to YouTube anyway, the YouTube series will do horribly. It will not do well. It will suck. Because what will happen is you will find the series on YouTube and go, oh, hey, look, that's cool. And then you will go off to Twitch and watch the VOD in its entirety, and there will be no reason to watch the YouTube videos anymore. That's a problem for me as a creator because I get virtually nothing for you watching videos afterwards on Twitch, watching streams afterwards on Twitch. It's basically pointless for me on my end to have traffic driven to VODs on Twitch. Aside from like an ad play, which pays pathetically at Twitch, there's pointless for that. So I lock them to subs if they're going to YouTube because I want the on-demand viewing here. I want the on-demand viewing right here because this is where it's beneficial. High viewership here means more recommended feeds, means more potential subscriber growth, means more engagement metrics. It allows it to be showed to more of my existing subscribers because you guys don't realize this too. And this is what I'm saying. Like most people see the view count and that's all you see. But what you don't see is when the view count is low on an initial upload, it's no longer being helped by how YouTube works. Let me give you an example. And this is very similar to how Facebook works. You make a post. Let's say you make a picture. You send a picture to, I don't know, on your Facebook wall, right? Facebook is going to place that picture in a small percentage of your friends' feeds, right? Your home feed. This is no different for the YouTube video, but I'm using it as Facebook as an example because I think it might relate to more of you, because more of you probably use that platform or Twitter or whatever, right? Most of you, when you create content and you upload it to the internet, you probably don't do it on YouTube. You probably do it on like Facebook or Twitter or Instagram or whatever. It's going to show that to a small percentage of your friends or your following or wherever that is. If that small percentage engages with that content in any reasonable amount, it will distribute it to more. If more of them distribute it, or more of them engage with it, it will distribute it to more. Okay, so it has a snowball effect distribution model. That's how most social media platforms who curate content work today. If it's engaging and you prove to the algorithm that it's engaging, it will show it to more people. If, however, it pushes it out, if I push it out to you and you don't engage with it, you don't click the video, or it gets displayed to you, but it's not interesting, so you go away. Or maybe you click it, but you only stay for like a minute, realize it's not for you, and leave, right? Those types of things reflect negatively on the algorithm to it. And again, this is not a blame game for viewers. I'm not saying, why you guys leave my videos? I'm explaining how it works so that you have a better understanding of the decisions that I make when I'm seeing numbers, okay? Because I care very much about this channel. And when you care about it, you don't want to put it in a position where what you are doing is actively harming it, right? Because if I am going to try to make this a career path, if I am on the mode of trying to do full-time content creation, I have to look at things like this. It's too important to ignore it. So if I push a video out, right, and very few people engage with it, very few people, see it or whatever, and the people that it shares it with are fairly random, unless you have the bell icon clicked. I'll talk about that in just a second. It's fairly random. If you don't engage with it, then YouTube says, well, that's not very engaging. I guess there's really no reason to, share that with people anymore. And the distribution for it dwindles down to almost nothing, and then nobody sees it, right? So videos that do well, do really well. Good point in this, a good way of thinking about this, Cartel Tycoon. Unknown, unexpected Cinderella of the channel. Cartel Tycoon video, okay? First video I put out, it's just a random game that I received, and I'm like, this looks pretty cool, I'm gonna play it, right? The click-through rate engagement on that thumbnail, right? Now, you might notice that my thumbnails for this, as well as like several other things I've done, including Mass Effect, they changed their style a little bit, right? They have these little jagged puzzle pieces. I guess it's mirrored for you guys, so trying to figure out how to do it mirrored. They have these little jagged puzzle pieces, right, on the corner, and then my logo, and then the thing. This is because I tested out that thumbnail pattern. I tested out that thumbnail design with Cartel Tycoon, okay? And the click-through rate for that, when I put it out there, was 11%. Again, my channel average is about 7. But that was 11%. That's almost double. So I'm like, okay, that's interesting. And that's the click-through rate for it. And then the engagement of my content and my ability to keep you here, that's after you've clicked the video, but that's why thumbnails are so important, because it gets more people to give it a chance, give it a try. So naturally, because that engagement was so good, YouTube distributed it to more and more people, and now Cartel Tycoon's first episode has like 45,000 views. So just this random gem. So that was good. That was nice. But it's because of how it's engaged. It's because of how engagement works with it. So going along that path, now that you understand a little bit about how that engagement metric works and how it, how videos are distributed a little bit more better, you might understand why having my Twitch VODs of streams that are going to YouTube, having those VODs available for everyone to watch might hurt the channel's might hurt my attempts to get that series to grow on YouTube, right? Because if you watch the first video and decide you don't want to wait for the second or third or fourth and you want to just go and watch the Twitch stream, you can watch the Twitch stream there and it's there, but now that you have no reason to watch it on YouTube anymore, that's not just necessarily one viewer lost, but it's one view per video I post. And then on top of that, because YouTube is going to distribute it to you anyway, and you have no reason to watch it because you've already watched it, you've now reduced engagement with that as well. Click-through rate goes down, engagement goes down, and the series crumbles to the ground that way. So by locking it behind a pay gate at Twitch, that's my only way to keep it available for people who are financially supporting me on Twitch. There's no reason to ever block their content, but that's why I do it. That's the reason why it's done. And it took me 2 years to make that decision. But ever since I made that decision, YouTube streams or Twitch streams that have gone to YouTube have consistently performed better. Not just with viewership, but with click-through rates. They've consistently performed better with watch time, all that stuff, right? That's how that works. So hopefully that makes sense. And there isn't a data-driven reason to do it that's not greed or any type of monetary reason. It has everything to do with me not wanting my channel to be destroyed because of it. Hopefully that makes sense. Just got here, not sure if this is an appropriate question. If it isn't, sorry. Do you know if Clear for Transfer will ever come to console? It will not. To my understanding, it will not. I've been specifically told by Paradox that it's not console material because they're different developers. Console and mobile specifically too. Mobile is a completely different animal than the desktop PC developers. They're not the same people. So the content they create is not necessarily the same. They can try to be mimicked and you can try to like bounce ideas back and maybe you can like recreate what they've done over here, but they're different people. So Clear for Transfer is not, to my knowledge, going to console. Island Bound is. That was something that was created in, like together, right? That's something that was there. Clear for Transfer was not. So I'm not berating you for locking, by the way, not my intent. I know. I was worried I wouldn't be able to continue enjoying Mass Effect series like it a lot. Yes, so Mass Effect, no matter what happens on YouTube, I want to make this abundantly clear too. No matter what happens on YouTube with that, I am continuing it all the way to the end on Twitch. I love it too much to stop it, right? Bringing it back. You brought me back. Good. I love it, but maybe audience doesn't, right? What do I do in those situations? How do I determine whether I'm going to upload it or not? Part of it has to do with how the metrics aside from views are going, like how watch time is, click-through rates, things like that. But a lot of it has to do with how much work it takes me to continue it. I don't expect it'd be stupid to expect every series to do as well as Prison Architect does. It's just not realistic, and I don't expect that. But if it takes me very little time to do it, and it gets like half the views, then whatever, it's fine. I can post something that does horribly as long as I post something that does well alongside it, right? Because I need to keep those people who are engaged with the channel, to keep them coming back in content that they do like, right? So as long as I have something that's maybe not so popular right alongside something that is, and they're posting together, awesome. That's totally fine with me. But my time is so restricted to creating content right now that, like, yeah, I could just take a day. The only way I'm going to do it is if I take a complete day off of YouTube and off of Twitch and do it for YouTube. And I had a dedicated recording day. Wednesdays were my dedicated recording day. At least I marked them as such. But because of how the world works, and by the world I mean my wife's brain, if she knows I'm not streaming that day, then I have chores to do. So I end up not having it be a dedicated recording day. So what I've done is I've said, hey, we're going to have a stream every single day from Monday to Saturday. And then I plan to just not stream on one of those days and just make YouTube content. I thought that would work too, until she caught on to my game and decided to give me things to do anyway. So whatever. I mean, I have to be helpful. She makes way more money than I do. So her job, the stability of her career, way more important than mine. And I don't say that because, I mean, I say that literally because it is a money thing. I'm not a teenager, right? I'm not this 20-year-old kid, yo, what up, that can do whatever he wants. I'm a dad. I'm a husband, father. Like, I have a mortgage. I have to consider money when I make my decisions. It's irresponsible not to. So, yeah. How are you looking decent in my country? I can't do anything. I don't know what you mean, gaming time. What do you mean? Yes, I got a haircut because barbershops opened in my state, and I decided that I would take the risk. I went in first thing in the morning as the very first customer, mask and gloves abundant, and I said, cut my hair, please. Can I do more cartel vids? No, because the content is done. When the game is released, I will, sure. Do you make more on Twitch or YouTube? Twitch. Absolutely. That's another reason why it's prioritized a lot. I prioritize it mainly because I enjoy it more. I enjoy live streams way more than I enjoy video on demand. I think a lot of it has to do with engagement. I just want to communicate with people, and I like going back and forth with you like this. But another part of it is because the engagement I tend to get on YouTube is, and I have to pick my words here because I don't want it to be misconstrued. I don't want it to be misunderstood, but I'll say that the engagement I tend to get on Twitch is generally more friendly to my explorative mindset, the willingness to want to try new things. They tend to be more friendly to that idea than YouTube does. And on top of that, they also tend to not, let's go with treat me like I don't know anything. Yeah, we'll go with that too. They also tend to not treat me like I don't know anything. So that also aids to the favorability of that. Because a thing happens on our side, you guys don't see it necessarily, but because we definitely try to hide it usually, but a thing that happens on our side is if we get enough comments on something where it's just people basically telling me how much I'm messing up and how I'm doing everything wrong. You get enough of that, and you stop caring about that series. You move on to something else. And that's just the way it's going to be. Yeah. So you get enough people who are doing that, and you just kind of, you stop caring about whether or not that series gets published or not. Which is another reason why I took a break from KSP. I took a break from the Realism Overhaul playthrough that we just started. On Twitch, I've taken a break. I'm going to come back to it, but I'm taking a break for now because I don't have enough time in my life right now to properly plan out missions, properly engage with the changes in the game to make good, solid, educated decisions on design. And because I don't have that ability, there's just so much do this, this is how this works, actually you're wrong, blah, blah, blah. There's too much of that. And I can't enjoy it with that much going on. So I take a step back, I let it simmer down, we see if it changes, and I come back to it later. Because if you're not in the right mindset, you can't make good content. So, are you going to stay uploading on YouTube as it makes it so much easier to catch up when it's there, available to me, as sometimes I might be busy and miss live streams? Hey, Corey. I won't ever stop uploading to YouTube as far as I know. I don't have any plans to stop uploading. Are you talking about something specifically? I still haven't decided on Mass Effect right yet. Like, I can't properly gauge its interest. Part of the argument that I have for continuing it here is because I've seen it turn around. The argument I have for Mass Effect is that there's been instances in the past where a series did abysmally, did horribly, and then it just sort of over time does okay. Divinity, Original Sin 2 is one of those that started out, first day upload, that was like 100 views. First day, 24 hours, 100 views. Channel with 20, at the time, I think it was like 21,000 subscribers. Yeah, 100 views. I'm like, I don't think so. This coming at a time where I just finished Prison Architect, and that was getting like, 1,000 plus, 2,000 plus. But I kept going anyway because I really loved it, and I wanted to keep it going. And so I just did. I just said, screw it. I don't care. Let's go. The result of this was two things. The result of this was I'm happy that I finished it. And a lot of people who have found it later are also happy that I finished it. But at the time I was publishing it, I was constantly in my head every time I published it. Every upload, all like 144 videos later, every single upload, I published the button and went, why am I doing this? Because it got to the point where, like, I think it was around like episode 90 or so. It got to the point where I could expect maybe 50 views first day. It was so bad. And I just knew I was killing my channel's engagement. I knew I was killing everything. I got a little lucky with Prison Architect releasing Psych Ward. New content allowed me to have a position of authority on that game, and the channel kind of started to rebound. But that was entirely dependent on a publisher posting new content for a game I was already popular on. Like that was kind of where that came from. But every time I uploaded, I was like, why am I doing this? But I did it anyway, and I felt good about it. Detroit Become Human was kind of the same situation. It was this, why am I doing this still? But at least on that one, it was very easy to create videos for it. They were relatively, it was really easy to create. All these instances, Divinity was the same way. Although Divinity had break screen stuff. Detroit Become Human was incredibly easy to make videos for. So the effort that went into those videos kind of was so low that I sort of, like, on the back end. And the front end was like really engaging, and I'm still trying to, you know, be entertaining. But the editing process of things was so low as far as my effort goes that it still made sense to publish it anyway, and I did it anyway. That's kind of where I am at Mass Effect right now. It's like, if I publish another one, it's like, why am I doing it? Am I getting into this again? Are we going to do this again? But for my Mass Effect run, that's 4 games worth. That's a little different. It's 4 games worth, because that challenge is 4 games. So it's a little harder for me to, like, really get into it. So it's a question mark in my head, and that's kind of where that goes. I love your Prison Architect. Thanks, Cardi. I think a lot of people do. A lot of people do. Could you make a second channel for videos not as popular? I thought about that too. I think there's more negatives to it than pros. It's just kind of how I'm looking at it. There's more negatives to it than pros. The pros of it, of course, is that I post content that's consistent with that channel, and, you know, anyone who follows that channel is going to like that content. The downside is I have such a hard time getting people to do literally anything I ask that I doubt I'll have any incentive or motive to post it there either. Like, it's incredibly difficult. One of the struggles content creators have, and really just anyone who works on social media in general, one of the biggest struggles that we have is attempting to get some sort of reaction out of anything we do. Even a small amount of reaction. And, you know, let me reiterate, it's a channel of 30,000 subscribers, but relative to the number of subs, video views are actually quite low compared to other channels at the same size. And it's because of what I've done to it in the past. I've done things that have harmed my channel in the past that I may never recover from. And it's the struggle in my head is attempting not to repeat those mistakes over and over again, and continuously putting things that I really like out in front of an audience that just doesn't care for it. And to be fair, this is a very old game. I am going back to Mass Effect. This is it's an older game. A lot of people have seen it. It's like, I mean, it's not like it's in the news. But it might be, because there's rumors of a remaster coming. And if there's a remaster coming, it will be in the news, and then the videos might get discovered. So it's, because at any point in time, I do have some sort of prominence in that I'm the newest, you know, series for it. So it is there. I have no idea what SCP Games is. Hello. I don't know what that is. I don't know what SCP is. You're abbreviating something, but I'm afraid I don't know what that is. Someone said something about uploading poorly performing videos as a separate channel. What do you think about that? Yeah, that. Yeah, so hopefully that answers your question. I don't do it because starting from scratch for posting videos that aren't getting engagement and search traffic anyways just throws them into a bucket that no one's looking at anyways. You have to have some sort of content that's going to draw search traffic if you're going to post them to a second channel, because that's all you have. Search traffic is all you have if you're posting to a brand new channel. And I'd just as soon not start from scratch. I'd just as soon say, well, it's good over here. Twitch viewership on it is fine. Twitch viewership on it has been fine. It's been average, slightly above average. So I'm okay with it being a Twitch exclusive thing, especially since it will get saved as a highlight, put into collections, preserved forever. But it's and I like it on YouTube because I'm able to. I have a following here, and that's why. There's a saying that I always have, and this is the only reason I kept talking myself into things that I'm just experimenting with. There's a phrase, there's a sentence, a piece of advice that I tell myself that I think is so true, but it sometimes makes decisions difficult, and that is that you cannot get a following with a game you do not play. You cannot get a subscriber base in a genre that you do not play. And it's the only reason I end up posting things that are outside the genre of popularity, is because if I'm going to find any subscriber base for those types of games, I have to post those types of games. And so every genre, if you're whether you're a small creator or a big one, it's a little easy. The bigger you are, the easier this is. But if you're posting games in multiple genres, you have to look at it like every genre of game is a completely separate audience. It's like you can't say, well, my channel has 30,000 subs, which I got entirely by building and strategy and management games and building games and city managers. So naturally, I'm in a great position to post MMO content, RPGs, completely different audience base. You'll get some bleed over, and that's why I keep it on the same channel, because the bleed over might help it getting prominence. And then channel positioning, there's an authority metric that goes with a channel that has size. But ultimately, you have to interpret it, and sometimes I forget that. In my head, I sometimes forget that. You have to interpret when you venture into a new genre or just a different one that you visited before, but it's a whole new audience. You have to treat it like a brand new, not really a brand new channel, but you have to treat it similarly to that. So, yeah. Hey, Lloyd. Came across your channel recently as I've just got into KSP, so watching your series, old and new, on there has been a godsend. Thanks. Love the content, but fully back making content you enjoy, playing as much as stopping vids that don't do well. Yeah, it's hard. It's that hard conflict, right? That metric, because I like it, but it doesn't do as well as others. And I think a lot of it is the high of it, right? Like the high of it, when I post Prison Architect and I see those numbers are really good, there's this certain high, this euphoria almost, this adrenaline almost that you get out of it. And then when you post something that doesn't do that well, your brain is sort of rewired in a bias that says, that's bad. You're doing things wrong. And what happens with that is you get trapped into one game. And I've been very good with, so far, not trapping myself in one game. There's always going to be what business people call it a cash cow, a product that's the bulk of your income or the bulk of your viewer base or whatever, right? You can change the noun however you want. But business people would refer to it as a cash cow. It's the one thing that keeps your business intact. And then you have the other projects in the other three parts of the grid. And I have to remember that not everything is a cash cow. And I have to be able to look at that in a clear lens and say, is this something I enjoy? Yes. Is this something in a genre of games that you would like to get a following in? Yes. Do you know the game really well? Yeah, I know it better than anyone I know. Okay, well, then what's the problem with posting it? That retraces back to the conversation a half hour ago where I may stop appearing in other people's feeds, and except for people who click the bell. But if people who click the bell, which there are currently... Hold on, I'll tell you exactly how many. Because I can see how many of you clicked the bell. So there are currently... Oh, come on now. I like how YouTube Analytics has decided to stop working for me right as I get to a conversation piece where it talks about that. 4,200 of you. Holy shit, that's a lot more than I thought. 4,200. Wow. Okay, cool. Well, how many of those 4,200 people are going to, how many of those 4,200 people are going to unclick the bell if I post 3 Mass Effect videos a day and it's not what they're interested in? They'll get these notifications and they'll stop, they'll stop seeing it. You know what I mean? Orion, welcome. Says, I subbed 3 weeks ago and I've watched 5 series and loved it all. Thank you, man. Appreciate that. Thank you so much. Will you ever play Sea of Thieves? Not likely in the near future. I've seen people play it. It seems like a great game to play with friends, but it's the kind of game I might play on a Saturday night chill stream sort of thing. It wouldn't be a core content piece. It might be something I would try at some point, but not likely to make a lot of content on it, put it that way. You guys maybe don't realize this. I don't play games unless I can make a video for it or make a stream for it. Playing games offline, it just doesn't happen anymore. And I'm not saying that's sad. I'm not sad about that. I accept it. I start to prefer it because every time I try to play a game, and I do several times, every time I try to play a game without recording it or without streaming it, in my head I'm going, dude, what are you doing? You could be recording right now. And I'm just wired that way. I'm rewired that way. So if I can't record a video for it, if it's not content material, I don't play it. That's just the way it is. That's just the way it goes. Was your website down sometime in the recent past? I couldn't load it. Recent past? How recent is recent? Seems good, man. Seems like it's up and running right now. I don't know. How recent is recent? If you subscribe, doesn't it automatically notify you? No, it curates content to your... preferences. So YouTube's algorithm says, what are you interested in? What do you like? What kind of stuff do you like? And if the video I post that day coincides with what YouTube thinks you like, then it will show it to you. If it doesn't, then it doesn't show it to you. And if I post videos that you're uninterested in enough times in a row, and it's quick, it's like a week goes by kind of thing. And I don't know how, depends on the channel, because some channels only post 1 video a week. Some only post 1 video a month. So it's kind of channel dependent. But if I post enough content back to back that you aren't interested in, YouTube begins to show my stuff to you less and less, unless you have the bell. That's the only way you'll see it notified to you every time. It's the only way. And that's where the hesitation is. That's where that whole conflict, where content matters in relation to other content too. A poor performing series over here could create a lower performance for a more popular series over here because of that, depending on how I do it. So these are the types of things that go through our heads when we're deciding what to post and what not to post. Yeah. Hey, Normal, welcome in. My bell was off. WTF. Yeah, Niall. Jesus. What the hell? Noob. Did you set the bar too high with RP1? I don't think so. I mean, I think it's a challenge. I don't think I set it too high. I think there's a lot of people who, if they had the patience for it and the drive for it, they could do it too. But I think at the same time, I'm not entirely sure I do. And that's the other pool. If you're just joining us, coming in now, we are talking about 4 possible scenarios. There's 4 groups, 4 scenarios that happens for content creators. When I publish a video, either I like it and you like it, either I didn't like it and you don't like it, and it goes away, or I like it and you don't like it, or I don't like it and you do like it. And KSP has slowly moved itself into that last group. KSP has sort of shifted itself slowly into this I'm not having fun, but I know you all still like it group. And oftentimes when that happens, things are dropped because I can't continue to put effort into things that I'm not enjoying when there are other things that I can enjoy. But with this particular case, it's a little bit of an exception because I have an extra editor for this. I have an editor for KSP. And if I can light a fire under his ass, that'd be great. But I have an editor for that. So, and in addition to that, it's also a live stream. So I have what I refer to, the only other thing that makes sense to me to refer to as, I have a double dip content scenario where I can do it on Twitch and I can do it on YouTube. And it's the same content. I don't have to record it twice. And, that's a nice situation. So there's things like that. But I've taken a break from it on Twitch as of today. Normally today would be Flight Fridays. And today is the first Friday in a little bit last month, first Friday in the last month that we're not playing KSP. Mostly because I have to finish BioShock Infinite. I left it unfinished and I want to finish it. So we're going to do that today. But also because I stopped having fun with it. It's a combination of reasons. I think one of the biggest reason I stopped having fun with it temporarily, I hope it's temporary, is again, I don't want to alienate people, or I hate wording things in a way that can be misconstrued as blaming others, but I've stopped having fun with it because of its reactions. Chat interaction with it has been a little bit. I'm gonna simplify it by saying that on Twitch, the content of the stream has become, how do these tools work, you dumb streamer, how do you not know this? And the YouTube videos have become, actually you're wrong, this is what's right. And that's been the feedback back at me for it. And that makes an environment that's not as fun. And so I need to take a step back and just kind of have fun for a bit and then come back to it fresh. And preferably come back to it when I have more time and I can put more effort into it, because I feel like if I don't have the mindset that lets me have fun with it, then none of you guys will either. Nobody in my chat will leave. If I'm not having fun, there's no reason for them to be there. There's no reason for them to support that content. If I'm not having fun, YouTube is going to know. Twitch is going to know. And on top of that, these videos are like 40 minutes long. Sometimes they're more than an hour. And I feel like you deserve videos that are well put together, content and missions for that game that are thought about and planned out a little bit, not just thrown together willy-nilly. Well, I feel like it's a disrespect of your time if I'm posting videos that are like that. Which is one of the reasons why, like right now, even the whole week, really, I've had KSP episode 6. It's been uploaded to YouTube for about a week. But I have not published it because I don't like it. I don't like the way that video is made. I want it remade. I want it made differently. And I've, Jake, my bro knows, Jake knows. So he's working on that. It's not his fault. I just have a new idea for it. I just have something else that I'd like to see for it. And I'm not happy with it. And if I'm not happy with it, I don't want to publish it. So I haven't published it. I want it to be better. That's it. So. For me, I look at my subscribers tab and just look there before going to the homepage. I know what you mean. RP1 seems to do well on your channel. It does. But it's not doing well up here right now. That's one of the reasons why I haven't done it yet. Keeping engaged with it. I think I can keep engaged with it, though. I think I can keep engaged with it. It's just I need a break from it. That's all. It doesn't help. It doesn't help when I have the modders, the people who actually mod RP1. 2 of them come to my streams. They are in my chat. And, you know, when I normally have a question on how to do something, you know, they're like right there to do it. But I think their mindset on designing for it is not in alignment with what I would like as an experience. And so when I try to do something that makes sense to me, and I have to do it a different way, it becomes an extended conversation about a function in a menu, as opposed to just having a tool that works for me to use a way that I'm comfortable with, and having a tool that is not overly complicated intentionally. You know, some of the things they've done to the game are intentionally complicated. It can be realistic without being complicated to use it. And it's like having a screwdriver with like 40 different buttons on it, when really all I wanted to know how to do was how to change the head to a flat head instead of, you know, like good example, like a screwdriver. Let's say I have an interchangeable screwdriver. I have a Phillips head and a flat head. I have a Phillips head. I want to change it to a flat head because I have a project over here that needs a flathead screwdriver. It's a very simple process. I should be able to change it to a flathead screwdriver, but that screwdriver was made to a way to where you have to click a button that says, yes, I'd like to change it now. And then it makes you manually form the shape of your screwdriver head and then attach it in such a way that is realistic to what that screwdriver can actually hold. And then once you're done, you have to click a couple of other buttons to get it to save it. And only then can you use it as a flathead screwdriver. Just let me switch the head. Like, it's about the way the tools are set up that has got me a little bit kind of meh on the experience of using it. So I'm taking a break from it, and hopefully I come back with a fresh head. What's your favorite DLC for Prison Architect? Probably Psych Ward. I just like the fact that the prisoners can beat up trees because they have a problem. They have a personal vendetta against a tree. I just love that. The whole managing side of YouTube is something a lot of creators don't talk about. I think more creators would benefit from having conversations like this with their audience. I agree. That's why I wanted to do it today. I got to this point where I was just talking. There's just a lot of comments channel wide, and I'm to the point now where I can't read them all, which is kind of like, it's great, you know, like that means it's growing, but it's also like, no, like, I can't read them all anymore. I get on average about 60 comments per day, channel wide. I mean, I have 1,800 videos, so I mean, it's not that bad. But I don't have the time to read and respond to 60 comments a day on average. When I'm posting Prison Architect videos, it usually jumps up to more like 120 because those new videos get comments too. But it's harder to manage it. But it's one of those growing pains things that just takes experience to figure out how to do it right. And you're gonna make mistakes. I'm a human being. We're gonna make mistakes. We're not going to do it right every time. We can lean on other creators. I have mentors, if you will. I have other creators that I've been following a while and can, you know, bounce questions off of. You know, I can ask them things directly and see what their take on it is. People who've been doing this longer, people who are much bigger channels than I am. And, you know, they've provided a lot of guidance for things. And I know one of them right now, probably one of my bigger idols right now, if I asked him again, because I asked him this a year ago, if I asked him, he'd probably tell me absolutely dump Mass Effect, move on. Because it's just what he would do. And it makes sense. And he's gotten to the level he is because he does things well. So it's why my brain tells me, no, it'll be fine. But like the other creators who have been through this before would say, dump it, move on. So, yeah. On Twitch, there's more of a communication interaction between content maker and follower. That's why I like Twitch more. Yeah. If I did this every week, then, you know, sure. But this is the kind of stuff this is what I live for right here. This back and forth right here. Like this is the best part of it, right? But I can't necessarily do that with YouTube because the culture of comments. I mean, like, just gauge this for a moment. Just humor yourselves for a little bit and to see what I'm talking about. When I say, look at the number of subs, and then look at the number of people who are hanging out with me right now, right? There's a disconnect there because the type of content they're interested in isn't why they followed. Right? You have to cultivate an audience for the things you're going to be releasing. And this is not something I do very often. If I did this more, then it would be different, but I don't do this enough. Maybe I should do it more. I don't know. Maybe get a different background though. That'd be nice. Flathead screwdriver will never work. What's up, Clint? That green name is Schmexy. Thanks for that incredible support, dude. Gold hat here too, huh? Crazy. I haven't looked at that tab in a while. Well, that's not true. I looked at it at the beginning of the month because I had to make I made my end cards, my credits end cards. Yeah. I like how people are still coming to like other videos that have nothing to do with Prison Architect and saying, please more Prison Architect. It hurts. It hurts. Not because they're doing something wrong. It hurts because I want to, but I just don't have the time. I could be doing it now, but I'd rather do this, you know? Yeah, we played Bomber Crew quite a while. We played it several instances too. I don't think the videos are available anymore. I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think so. I'm floating around in the English channel somewhere in that world. I don't know why people expect you to get 100% correct. You're posting a playthrough, not a guide or a how-to. Right. And it's just, it's not so much that they expect me to get it all right. I mean, they're not saying, hey, dummy, you suck. Well, okay, not all of them are saying that. But I think it's this propensity for people to want to help. People are good-natured. Well, I think a lot of people are good-natured and they do things in a good-natured way. But the effects of it, when you combine a whole bunch of people doing that, it has an effect that they didn't intend. So you could have, say, for example, 20 people. Let's say 20 on, I don't know, pick a game, any game. KSP, let's just do it. You could have 20 people who come in and want to tell me how like a certain thing works because they don't believe I know how it works. And they'll do it in various different ways. They're just trying to help. But if that becomes the consistent feedback that I get, where consistently every time they're trying to explain things to me, it reduces the fun factor for the whole experience for me. It's one of those things where it's just like, why do I even, am I playing this so I can be critiqued? I don't get it, you know? And I know it's good natured. I know it's what they want. And that's they just want to engage with me, and I appreciate it. I do. It's hard for me to express how I can take time and post something that I like to do, and people take time out of their lives to watch it and feel as though there's enough engagement with it that they want to communicate with me. Like, that's amazing. It's still super amazing. But if that's the only contribution they have, if that's the only thing they do, then it's like the equivalent of like if I had a sister. I don't. That's why I'm using sister instead of a brother. If I had a sister, she's nice, she's kind, she's everything you can expect in a sister. But when I play video games, she likes to stand over my shoulder and point out every little thing that I don't engage with on her schedule. Like what she thinks I should be doing. And she likes to point it out. If you had someone like that, if I had a sister that was doing that to me, I would like that sister to leave. I would like to not play games with her around, right? I mean, I love her to death. She's awesome. And I know she means well. I would just rather she not do that. You know what I mean? Like if you do it a lot, 1 time, 2 times, whatever, but if you do it a lot, then it becomes this thing that just detracts from your experience. I hope that makes sense. Especially in a blind play, which was why I often post things for blind plays. I often post things like I'm like 5 or 6 videos ahead of you when I publish them. That way, when I do get that type of comments, when I do get that flood of backseat gaming, it doesn't actually affect the gameplay that's taking place. It doesn't actually affect what I'm doing, and I get to stay happy with it, and I get to stay having fun with it, basically. Pretty much that's, yeah. Who are your idols? The people you ask questions to? I intentionally did not name them. I'd rather not name them. Not because they're like bad people. I just like I don't know. Maybe some people on Twitch might know, but I'd rather not name them. But isn't it about doing what you love and not what is popular? Or it might become stale. You might just enjoy your work as a hobby. So Syntax, there's like 10 different experiences that I want to enjoy. There's like 10 different experiences that I want to take part in. 10 different games I want to play. 6 of them do horribly. Nobody's interested in them. 2 of them do fantastic. Which one should I play? All 10 of them I want to play. All 10 of them I can have a fun time playing. But which one should I do? That's the best way I can answer that question. It's not about, like, I'm not playing something I don't like. I'm prioritizing what I put time into based on what viewership likes. That's why I haven't played something like Oni, for example. One of the biggest, most requested games, Oxygen not included. That's why I haven't touched that. Now, it doesn't mean I won't touch it in the future, but that's why I haven't touched that. Because that game is going to be a backseat fest. Because that game is going to be a storm of people telling me what to do. And I am too intimidated by that fact to even try it right now. Yeah. Same thing with like Hearts of Iron 4 and things like that. It is going to be an infestation of backseat gaming, and I don't know if I'm prepared. Like at this moment with I'll admit it, I've got some mental instability right now in my life. I mean, there's just too much going on. COVID is a worry. My son is home 24/7, so there's scheduling conflicts. And I've just shifted my live stream schedule to a time slot I've never consistently done, alienating well over half of my normal following, so my streams will probably do terrible now. And at the same time of that, I've also been in conversations with 3 potential sponsors. So now I'm going to destroy my viewership with Mass Effect videos, stream at a time that's off-brand, and talk to sponsors at a time where I don't have support. Like, okay, something's got to give here, you know what I mean? Like, what's he doing? So yeah, like there's a little bit of that too. And that's why I don't really want to play games right now that kind of, like normally I'm a really thick-skinned person, right? I'm a pretty thick-skinned person. I can take it. One of the ways I cope with it usually is to dish it back at you. It's all playful, you know? Like I'm almost 33. All right, I'm not a punk kid that doesn't know who he is. Pretty secure in my own skin. Pretty sure I know who I am. I know what I know, and I know what I don't know. And it's one of these things where, you know, you can say whatever you want, but at the end of the day, I'm the guy on the camera, and I got the platform, and I can hit the button that says, troll, get out of here. But, like, you can only take so much in your personal life before you start to go, how secure am I really right now? And then you get away from situations that maybe otherwise you'd be able to take like a champion. Now it's more like a novice, and I'd just as soon not put myself in that position. So there's certain things I will step away from depending on how my life is going, you know? Hey, Piranha, how are you? Sellout mode activated. Right, yeah, exactly. Exactly. I'd love to see you play Oni, but I can understand not wanting to put that kind of stress on yourself. The backseating would be intense. Yeah. If I played Oni, what would happen is I'd probably I'd have to put about 3 or 4 hours into playing it offline just to thoroughly learn things. I'd probably have to watch some sort of tutorial that gets people situated in it. Then I'd probably have to take some time over the next few weeks, just, you know, like back and forth time in my spare time, maybe playing through half a playthrough on my own. And then at that point, once I have a somewhat of a plan, I'd probably start recording it. And when I'm about 10 episodes ahead of you, when I'm about 10 videos already recorded, at that point, start releasing them. That's probably how I would do it. Any game where I think it's going to be very backseat heavy, I record well in advance of release. I need to use the restroom really quick, guys. I'm going to be right back. Sorry about that. Happens sometimes, especially if you're drinking water. I'll be right back. Okay, back. Sorry. Oh. Me need a day for trolls, like Troll Tuesday. Maybe. Have you ever watched a program called Gold Rush? Nope. Sorry, haven't. What's with the space background? Hey, Hans. This is the elusive man. This is like it's the same. It's the background I have for welcoming people to my Mass Effect streams. This is an impromptu thing. I didn't have time to like make a whole professional background, so I just used the same thing I had already. Pretty much. Hey, Cookie. Any idea when the next KSP vid will be released? Whenever the bro gets it done. And I'm happy with it. Both of those things have to happen. Technically, I've had KSP 6 for a week. I've had it uploaded too. I could hit publish right now, but I won't. I want it replaced. I want it to be better than it is. No raffles here? Yeah, it's not Twitch. Yeah, if anyone wants to follow on Twitch for actual game streaming, we give away games sometimes. We have a community challenge thing happening on chat right now where people can put their channel currency, the pointless points. You can put those into a big pool and unlock a game giveaway. So that happens. We have channel currencies, we have games, we have raffles and things we do, and it's nice. You can find the link to that in the description. Actually, some commands do work here, Mike. I think the Discord command works here, the Twitch command works here, and I want to say, I forget what other one works here. Maybe the Twitter one does, I don't remember. Oh well. Went for a haircut. I went for a haircut the other day. It was my first time wearing a mask. Oh, interesting. It's not working? It should have worked. It should have worked. All right. It should have worked. Why, Nightbot? Why? All right. Do this. Let's do this. There we go. You need to pay money to watch the Twitch streams, right? No. Twitch is free for everyone. You can watch no matter who you are, where you are. As long as Twitch is supported in your country, I guess, as long as you can access it, you can watch it for free. I don't know why those commands aren't working. I can see them. They're right here. They're used for everyone. Unless it's not... Oh, you know what? Maybe it's not actually added to the YouTube channel? Are you not connected? Maybe Nightbot's not connected anymore. Oh, well. I'll have to maybe do that. I don't stream on YouTube anymore, so yeah. Oh, well. But it says you need to be a member when you rewatch the streams. Oh, okay. So we answered this before, but there's a differentiation between. I don't want to repeat myself too much because people who watch the VOD later, who watch this later, will have it repeated. But let me just repeat something how this works right now. All live streams, while live, are free for everyone, no matter where you are in the world, no matter who you are, as long as you are over the age of 13. You can watch them for free, always. All live streams afterwards, as an on-demand video, are free for everyone to watch, no matter where you are in the world. As long as you're over the age of 13, you can watch all Twitch VODs for free as well, with one exception. And most likely, that's most likely what you're talking about, is the one exception. If you are attempting to watch a live stream that is part of a YouTube series. In other words, a live stream on Twitch in which the majority of the content of that stream is destined to go into a YouTube playlist. Those streams are locked to subscribers. Because if I let you watch them, the YouTube series will die a horrible, miserable, fiery death. So those VODs are locked. Wait, you have to be over 13? It is against Twitch terms of service for you to have an account on that platform if you are not at least the age of 13. Which is why I say if you're over the age of 13. Whether or not you are following terms of service, I guess that's your own prerogative. I can't prove you otherwise. But if you are under the age of 13 and you have a Twitch account, you are technically breaking terms of service. Again, I can't prove it, but that's how the rules are. You have to be over the age of 13 as well, by the way, on YouTube. Like 13 is like the staple for all online, like most online accounts, yeah. Are you nostalgic of conquering KSP in terms of quality versus enjoyment level and community engagement? No. No, I'm proud of what I did with that series, but I don't really have any regrets by stopping it. If my hard drive hadn't crashed, if this SSD hadn't crashed, things would be very different. If my hard drive hadn't crashed a long time ago, like in October or something of 2016, things would be very different because viewership on that series was going up, 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 and away, right? When that hard drive crashed, that whole algorithm tweak where YouTube stopped showing my videos because you haven't engaged my channel in a while, that whole thing took forward. And I went from having about 3,000 to 4,000 views same day as release to having 400 to 500 views. And it was just like an immediate change. And it was like not as many people are seeing this content as used to, or not as many people care anymore. And it became, you know, I put anywhere between 10, in some episodes, as many as 20 hours into a single video. It would get about 400 or 500 views on the same day, day after that, whatever, to where I could put an hour into a Prison Architect episode and it would get 3 times that viewership. It just didn't make economic sense for me at the time. And I don't regret the decision to end it when I did. You know, I look back on it now and I'm like, wow, it'd be nice if I would have gotten further. But I mean, SSDs crashed. I don't know what else I could do about it. I put probably 60 hours in just restoring the save to get to the point where I could continue it for episode 80, I think it was. And then it was just like, from there, it was too late. So, what time do you normally stream on Twitch? Killer Dog, there's a schedule linked in the description of every video. Schedule is now changed. We are starting a stream at 5 p.m. Eastern time, which is about a half an hour. I'm actually ending this one and going directly to Twitch when this is done. So 5 p.m. Eastern time, Monday through Friday. And then we have a 1 hour later, 6 o'clock, sort of late night hangout stream on Saturday nights. So, what if you're 15 but mentally ill like 7? The law doesn't care. You're 15. Basically. Literally started playing RP1 for the first time ever once your episode 2 came out. Good luck, man. It's not the same game. Definitely not the same game. Some countries the age of 16, I believe. Yeah. So yeah, if you're not familiar with Twitch, it's you don't need to pay to watch on Twitch. You don't have to pay to watch on Twitch. It's like, that's not right. I think what it is the terminology is not familiar to you. Here on YouTube, subscribing is the same as following on Twitch. So like follow is the same as subscribe here. So when you go to Twitch, if you go to the Twitch channel and you see the word follow, that's the same as subscribing on YouTube. Subscribing on Twitch, that's the $5 a month thing. That's the support the channel thing, right? That's the same as hitting the join button here at YouTube. The only difference is technically YouTube technically pays more to me than the subscribe button does on Twitch, but you get way more benefits at Twitch for subscribing there. So it depends on if you're going to engage there or not. But that is never required. You never have to do that. And if you have an Amazon account, if you have Amazon Prime, your parents have Amazon Prime, your grandparents, whoever it is, have Amazon Prime, you can connect your Twitch account to the Amazon Prime account. Doesn't cost anything. You don't even need to exchange credit card information. You can connect your Twitch account to the Amazon Prime account, and then you can sub for free. Party King is in my Twitch chat. So the high pop out still works over here. He must be in my Twitch chat, just like messing with it. I saw that happen. Is he over there messing with it? Okay. I could leave the hi emote. I can say hi in my Twitch chat, and the if I say hi in my Twitch chat, it'll say hi to me back in my stream right now. That's funny. So anyway, I hope that clears that up. You do not need to pay to watch streams at Twitch. You only need to be a paid subscriber to see content on Twitch if it's a on-demand video of a past live stream that is going to YouTube anyway. And I I explained it earlier in this stream. So if you, I don't remember where that is, but if you go back and you end up watching the first part of this, you'll get a really good explanation as to why. I hope that makes sense. It has very little to do with money. The reason actually has very little to do with money and everything to do with the health of my YouTube channel when I decide to double dip content, if you will. Random question, but would you ever do another Satisfactory series? I had planned one. I have this tentative idea. We do lots of engagement on our Discord. I recommend if anyone wants to know what's going on with, I don't even know if this will work. It's supposed to, but I don't think it's going to work. No. If anyone wants to know what's going on with me a lot more often, which I'm not saying you should, right? But Discord. There we go. You should join this Discord server. It's this link right here. If that's not clickable for some reason, you can also find it in the description of every YouTube video. Joining our Discord gives you behind the scenes on like all the information that's happening with me, scheduling stuff that's happening with me. I post my schedule there first before anywhere else. You can chat with me when I'm not on a video. I'm fairly active compared to a lot of other YouTubers. I think I'm actually pretty active there. And yeah, it's a place to ask me questions more often than just these live streams. I recommend you join there. We have a level up system, so the more you engage, the higher ranks you move up. You unlock new features as you go up. It's nice that way. Not HTTP. Well, I'm dumb, okay? My bad. My bad. Do you still get money if we sub for free? A Twitch Prime sub? Yeah, I get paid the same. If you sub with Twitch Prime, I get paid the same as if you sub with $5. What's the point in people disliking videos? If you don't like it, why don't you just not watch it? I'm okay with people disliking videos. I mean, people will do it anyway. I can't stop them, of course, but they'll do it anyway. I mean, if they want to dislike it, then let them dislike it, I guess. I would rather they watch and dislike than... I would rather they watch it and dislike than to not watch it at all. I would rather they do that. So, like I can't help them. No, you're not gonna make everybody happy, and I think a lot of smaller creators will take it to heart when people dislike their videos or troll them or whatever. But the bigger you get and the more you move up in this convoluted and twisted world of the internet, the more you'll realize that you have zero chance of making everyone happy, and the only one that you can really make happy is yourself. But if you have the experience to know how the world works, if you have the experience to know how the network that you're putting content on works, and you're actively doing things against your own goals, then you're not really making yourself happy. It's like a short-term happiness, long-term disaster. So there is a balance there, but ultimately you can only make yourself happy. You can't make everybody else happy. And over time, doing it for years, as I have been, yeah, that's eventually you're going to get a following of people that agree with the same types of content that you like. They're going to like it too. The same types of games that you like, they're going to like it too. My problem is I like too many types of games. And so I've developed this variety creator thing in which I have people in pockets of, there's obviously one bigger pocket than the other smaller pockets of people, but there's people who like certain genres and they're in different little pockets. And anytime I post something, it's going to only appeal to one of those pockets and not the others. There's some crossover, but it's not as frequent. It's just the way it is. But yeah, going back to Satisfactory, I had an idea for one, and we do votes. And what would you guys like to see next? What would you guys like to see next? What would you guys like to see next? And Satisfactory never wins the vote, so I just haven't done it yet. And Satisfactory is another one of those games where it takes a considerable time investment to get anything done. Just like KSP, you're going to spend hours in the game and get very little accomplished overall to the big picture. So it has to be something that I can create content for that's engaging. while simultaneously completing the objective. I have to have other stuff to share, other conversations, other talking points that are not game related, you know, and unless I'm going to talk about how hungry I am because I haven't ate all day, or I'm going to talk about, you know, the rainy weather I had today as I drove the car over to our new house that we're going to be moving into soon and discovered that it has a really, really small attic, you know? Yeah. YouTube doesn't hate variety that much, right? Depends. Animation Space, welcome. Depends. If you gain a following with a specific type of thing, you will grow faster if you stick to that thing. I mean, that's just it's just metrics. If you have gathered a subscriber base, let's say you get in a subscriber base of 1,000 people, and that 1,000 people subscribe to you because you're into one game. When you post a video on that one game, there's a very high likeliness that a huge percentage of your audience is going to be interested in that one game because that's what they came to subscribe to you for. Viewership's going to be up. But if you venture off into something else, it's variety, only a handful are going to come with you on that. They'll come back when you do your other game, but only a handful are going to come with you. And if you are variety, again, you're going to generate these pockets of interests. And every time you post a video to your total subscriber base, you're only going to be attracting to a certain pocket. And as long as you're doing things that you love and you like doing, then that can be fine. But if your overall mission is like, I want to grow as fast as possible, I want to get big, man, the ways that it happened 5-10 years ago, they no longer work. It's not likely, you know, to happen unless you are hyper focused. You hyper focused on a niche that's growing. That's how you have to do it. And I have just decided to ignore my own advice because that's just not that fun to me. So, yeah, pretty much. Charlie, you can look for inspiration about Satisfactory from YouTube. Yeah, I'm not going to watch other YouTubers for inspiration on something. I don't have the time to do it. I mean, if I'm going to watch another YouTuber on something, it's to learn so that I can create my own thing. I'm not going to like follow another YouTuber's journey so that I get inspiration to do my own thing on that. It's just not something I have the time to do. We're talking hours and hours of time that I am watching someone else that I could be creating something. You know what I mean? I mean, the algorithm picks some random stuff out of the blue and akin to trends. Right, yeah. No, I mean, every video is treated individually. So, like, if you have really good SEO, if you have, you know, really high click-through rate, really good, you know, if you have really good click-through, if you have really good, you know, thumbnails and good titles, whatever, you can go variety all you want, you know, and you're going to get picked up. But I'm talking about your subscriber base, though. Your subscribers are all people, and all those people have very particular interests. And if you're going to attract them, you have to post what they like. And if you have tons of different pockets, your viewership will be inconsistent unless you're attracting the algorithm every time consistently. And if you are doing that, I want to talk to you. If you're doing that, you and I should become friends. It's a grind. Exactly, yeah. Yeah. Catch you in your stream later? Cool, yeah, for sure. My particular interest is that smile. Shut up, Eddie. All right, well, I have a Twitch stream to do. There are people in my Twitch chat waiting for me, I guess. So if you guys want to join me for some BioShock tonight, we'd love to have you. It's going to be fun. I think we're going to finish up BioShock Infinite tonight. You don't have to, of course. You can always carry on the questions over there if you want to as well. Mike's posting the links in chat right now, so I don't have to post them. But yeah, if you want to continue the conversations there, I'd love to have you. It's going to be a lot of fun. There's some really great people over there. If you haven't given Twitch a chance before, just give it a try. You know, again, it's free to view. You don't have to pay to view there. That's I think it's the wording of it that makes that a misconception, because the subscribe button here is free, but the subscribe button there is paid. It's just follow. It's just called something different. That's all. But thank you for joining me tonight, guys. I appreciate that. And you know, maybe we'll do this again sometime. Maybe we'll. I'd love the option or the opportunity to get to know you guys a bit more. I do the same. I do this with Twitch all the time. I get to know people there, and people get to know me. We're a little bit more open. Over here, I'm a little bit more guarded because just the culture of this place is different than the culture of that place. That's pretty much it. But I'm gonna take off. Thank you for joining me tonight, and anyone who's watching afterwards. Hopefully, you got some insight into things. And I know I never really definitively answered the question as whether or not Mass Effect is going to keep posting or not. Never really answered that, because I don't, even as I log off, I don't know. Maybe we'll keep talking about it on Twitch. I don't know. But I am going to go. Take it easy, guys. Thank you. Bye.